How to spot a social contagion. Like, check this out. 40% of Brown University, like the Ivy League school Brown, students say they are not straight as gay, or whatever, alphabet agenda population triples in 13 years. In 13 years since 2010 and is now 5 times the national average. Tell me that's normal. Tell me you take something, okay, in the vestiges in those hallowed halls of Brown University where so many intellectuals have spawned from in the past, and if you just cast your mind back to the time and space, and definitely in the social order that society was in, all of those terrible ideas, you would take a look at what was going on the, especially in like the Forum of Yale, another Ivy League school where you had those weirdos that were out there screeching by saying that, trying to police Halloween costumes by saying that they were appropriating culture, and then everybody would just look over there and go, what do we care about policing any of those ideas? They'll eventually have to grow up, and they'll just leave those bad ideas back at the colleges. Well, take a look at what's going on right now. So case in point, by looking at this, all of those bad ideas, they didn't go anywhere. Those kids, those professors, they didn't grow up and realize and end up hitting the real world. They took all of their shitty ideas, transposed them onto reality, and now we're here. Just about half of an Ivy League university, a place where you're supposed to go to get something of note, a degree of some sort of importance. But instead, no, I got a dick, but I think I should have a gash between my legs. That's more important than studying business. Oh my god, these universities are no longer fit for purpose. But I know, some people will be thinking, maybe it's just one of those things where, the more intelligent among us who go to these higher learning institutions, maybe they're more open and understanding about their situation. Phenomenon like this happens all the time. You can see it in nature. Okay, scientists have already found that 72% of male macaque monkeys are bisexual. There you have it, okay? This is a phenomenon that happens throughout the entirety of the animal kingdom. How could we possibly be any different as mere Homo sapiens? Well, special emphasis on the first half of that word. Almost 40% of Brown University students are not straight. No, you've been programmed. Case and point, okay? This is so stupid. According to a survey that found the proportion who identify on the alphabet spectrum has tripled since 2010. That's not normal. It's not normal. When every waking moment of your school life all seems to center around, from every report that we're seeing, every investigation that's been put out there has something to do with sexual pleasure. Those fucking freaks that were all obsessed with this shit back in the cut these 10 years ago, they all graduated and are now instilling these values, these ideas into the kids' heads that are now hitting the universities and are now more fucked up than they've ever been. Congratulations. Homosexuality throughout all of time is pretty much held to that same baseline of about 6, 7, 10% in the most extreme ends, but never any much higher than those, deviations from the 6 to 7% range. But now you're earnestly telling me that 40% of people going to one of the most esteemed universities in the fucking world is on the spectrum. Get the fuck out of here. Normally you got to be on a different spectrum in order to qualify to get into one of those institutions, but we're not talking about that one. The poll found that 38% of students said that they were not straight, compared to the just 13% 13 years ago. The new figure is more than 5 times the national rate. Survey carried out students' paper, the Brown Daily Herald, who found that those who identify as gay, only 22.9% of students described themselves as homosexual, down from 46% in 2010. Yeah, it's just not popular to just be, a straight gay, to either just be, gay dude or a U-Haul enthusiast woman. Like, that's not popular anymore. You're not unique. That's not what's totally in right now. It's all about questioning, being on a spectrum, being special in your own specific way. You remember, especially during June, all of those different flags that were out there. Flags with an L. How many dozens were there? It was basically pick 3 of your favorite colors, put them in pillars, and, paint them out there, and you can be a sexual. I'm a Dawn sexual. I'm Dawn and I like sex. Ba-dam-bam. The proportion of students identifying as other sexual orientations has increased by 793%. Sorry, what? 793% over the same period. I want to die inside when I read that. Brown is notoriously woke. You don't say. Even among the ultra-progressive Ivy League schools, and experts say the increasing number of gay students is being driven by peer pressure and fashion. Yeah, no, exact. I would extrapolate that out, okay, by the government, society, media. Everything is telling you that you need to be special. You're special in your own specific ways, guys. And not even any of their own specific messaging for the alphabet community is even congruent with what it was, just a few years ago. Remember, you were born that way. You were born as a gay or as a lesbian or as a bisexual, but now all of a sudden you can get surgical interventions and Big Pharma can make lifelong customers out of you. And no, actually, can definitely be a choice. Sure thing. But yeah, just take a look at this. Take a look at this, okay? So the orange line, the one that's right up there at the top, is bisexual, which I would wonder how many chicks are a part of that if we were to suss out the data. Okay, it's probably chicks that, have made out at a college party, but then that probably drops off precipitously after they graduate. And then was that the light green, you had the homosexuals. Yeah, that one drops off and hits a crater in spring of 2018. Kind of fucking weird, I guess. And then what's the yellow? Other. Oh, great, cool. The people that just really want to feel fantastic and really want to be special. And then you have, queer, pansexual, asexual, and questioning, all just starting in 2021. Where, just people just really needing to feel special. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, the only kind of special that you are is something that can only be corroborated by different tests. Others believe that greater social acceptance in sexual education has led to the increase. I would agree, but probably not the way that you would define those terms. Last year, the poll was expanded with a new option describing sexual orientation, including queer, pansexual, asexual, and questioning/unsure. How the fuck are you unsure? And the rest of that shit just complicates the fact. It's like, okay, you like guys or girls? Okay, do you find that attractive? Do you find that attractive? All right, cool. We got it all figured out. Most of the students who identify on the spectrum told the survey they were bisexual, 53.71%, up from 41.01% in 2010. The gay or lesbian population has increased by 26%, and the percentage of students identifying as bisexual has increased by 232%, the poll found. What the fuck, man? Former Brown professor Dr. Lisa Littman, all right, ding, popularized the idea of rapid onset gender dysphoria, which theorizes the same people identify as transgender because of peer pressure. Exactly. Little anecdote. I think I've told this one before, but I think it's a fairly apt description of what's going on. When I was growing up in like the late 90s or whatever, I live in Alberta, right? And like one of our biggest exports is Alberta beef, okay? Meat and all that stuff. Fantastic, which is actually, a perfect analogy and comparison for this specific, topic. If only, if I lived out east, I'd have another good example with, the fish markets out in Newfoundland. Anyways, no, there was a big disease that was running through, Alberta cattle at the same time. And realistically, by big, the media made it out to be big, when in actuality, it was just a few cases that was out there. It was called mad cow disease. I know, catchy marketing, and it would just dominate the headlines because George W. Bush, I think it was either Clinton or Bush at the time. Like I said, it was way back. If it was in the 90s and not in the early 2000s, assign your president accordingly. But no, the media every single day, the 6 o'clock news, the farm reports on the radio, back when people used to watch and listen to that type of stuff, it was all about mad cow disease. Oh, the exports have stopped. There's a ban on there right now. Oh, we need to be doing better testing, when in actuality it was affecting like a fraction of a percentage. But they were telling you every single day, oh, if you've been infected, here's the list of symptoms. And there was over-reporting and so much concern going on at local clinics because of the hysteria that was out there. Same thing with the coof. Same thing with every other highly popularized and promoted disease, virus, whatever. Here you have the mental pathogen that is sexual orientation. Fucking gross regardless. Eric Kaufman, ding, one of the researchers who works at the Center for the Study of Partisanship and Ideology, told the College Fix that despite the mass growth and gay identification, sexual activity among these groups is not necessarily keeping up. Yeah, exactly. Everybody wants to feel special in order to try to find their own niche group because they're all too bitched up in order to just engage engage in, the old sexual dance in order to get turned down, because all of these people have just been handed everything and are so fucking autistic in person that they can't even engage in polite conversation. That's where guys that just have a modicum of attractive characteristics and are reasonably sociable can clean up in today's day and age. He noted that bisexual identification, for instance, which grew by 232% at Brown University, far exceeds bisexual sexual activity. Exactly. Oh, it's like, oh my god, Amy, oh my god, she totally made out with like Krista, and it was like so hot that one time. So they're like definitely bisexual. Like, shut up, they were just drunk. It is what it is. If his was about people feeling able to come out, or if it was, whatever, then we should have seen these two trends rise together. What we find instead that identity is rising much faster than behavior, indicating that people with occasional rather than sustained feelings of attraction to the opposite sex are increasingly identifying as gay. Kaufman added, there are two theories: the greater tolerance of allowing more people to come out of the closet, or Bill Maher's assertion. Oh my god, you have academics unironically citing Bill fucking Maher. Oh, it's the end of days, folks. It's the end of days. End of days. Assertion that LGBT is trendy among some youth. No, that's definitely what it is, but you just think that that's Bill Maher's unique idea? Holy fuck, these people are dumb. I think the second theory better fits the data and explains more of the why the rise occurred. Listen, people, it's really trendy to be the big gay right now. If you want to go around and you just want to pop a penis in your mouth as a Peter, well, that's totally up to you. If you just want to lick a little clam Becky, well, hey, that's popular right now, okay, folks? But we all know Bill Maher's not on the spectrum, the alphabet spectrum at least. We know his proclivities. Let's just say he likes to write checks for his dates, and let's just say he sources his candidates on the south side of Chicago. For those in elite settings like top universities, and is also a political motivation linked to resisting oppression or her dominant power structures. Exactly, because nothing quite links up appropriately like having a full ride scholarship at an Ivy League university and feeling the need to resist the pressures and fight back against dominant power structures. Unbelievable. But with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.